Hey, welcome to Salt. We are running solo today because Aspen has a job, and she's working for the summer program, working with the step kids who've come in for 3 weeks of school, and tonight they're going bowling till midnight, 3 hours of nonstop lane action fun. You can tell she's very excited about that. But she had to take off to get over there, and so I'm running things from the iPad.
Am I supposed to be able to see that on here?
You should. Miranda is having to do what Aspen normally does, and that is to check to make sure the feed is actually going out.
And there we are.
And there we are. So all things working together. There you go. Anyway, so hope you had a good Sabbath. We are here to talk about things. Miranda, what are we talking about?
We're talking about whatever Brett has chosen to talk about.
Don't make me choose. We had a couple ideas. Well, we taught Sabbath school today, and there was a couple of things in Sabbath school that we thought were kind of interesting. I'm just going to pick one. If you did the Sabbath school, the adult Sabbath school lesson, it's about Corinthians, and part of it was about church discipline. And we actually have several pastors in the class that we go to. And I just thought it'd be interesting because, the experiences I've had where I was, pastoring a church and some church discipline thing came up, and how the other pastors would handle it. Because in Corinthians, the lesson that it was talking about, Paul writing to them, and apparently there was a situation where I guess a son was, having an affair with his stepmom, his father's wife, which was his stepmother. And the church was, kind of proud of their tolerance of, keeping them together. And Paul was like, "What are you doing?" And he was telling them, they shouldn't be proud of it. And you should, deliver him to the devil for his own, salvation. And basically, one of those things that has been quoted a lot in church discipline. And, when we have to send somebody out and we have to, kick them out of the church so they know what it's like to be out there on their own without the love of God and the love of their fellow, Christian believers. And then they will come back. And I've heard it a lot. And, we kick that around a little bit. And having worked both on the church and the school side, because we do a lot more discipline on the school side than we ever did in the church side, I didn't like the way discipline committees would be either the church or the school kind of ever went. It was always too much procedure, too much where we were meeting and talking about things from sort of a separated perspective. And, we have this person and the situation and how we're going to deal with it, And so in Sabbath school today, we talked about the severity of what it means to, push somebody out of the church or, disfellowship or just tell them not to come to church anymore. And so I said, let's take this from, an academic discussion to really, let's make it real. I asked how many, people had kids, and almost everybody. And I said, all right, so at what point are you willing to kick your son or daughter out of the house and tell them don't come back? And I was hoping that was giving them a little more of a, wow, I don't know that I would ever do that to my own child. And I'm like, so when we're looking at this on the church side, these are our brothers and sisters, right? If we're believing Christians, these are sons and daughters of God, our brothers and sisters, their family. So when we get to situations like that, instead of following the form and filling out the procedures and that kind of thing, what happens if we start taking a look at it like, this is my family member, this is my son, my daughter, my brother, my sister? Does that give us perspective? And then, that kind of like, oh, yeah, and then I think it was you or several people brought up the idea that whenever we do something, it should be, the goal should be restoration, not discipline, not punishment. There's one thing to punish people. There's another thing to do things that you hope bring about healing and restoration. And as we talked about a little more, I thought, with addiction and that kind of thing, I had worked with a lot of kids, in high school, and I used to work at a psych hospital for kids. And sometimes there comes a time where you have to, for the safety and the well-being of other people and the person, you do have to remove them from the home. I know parents who have had to go, I can't let you keep hurting the other kids, your brothers and sisters and us. We've tried everything. We've gotten to a point. You keep choosing to do destructive things, and now your choices are affecting other people. And we have to, protect them as well. And so the decision was one of protection, not punishment. It wasn't lashing out. So there are times where you have to make those decisions. But the whole point was for healing and restoration. Get help, get healing, let's bring you back into the family, that kind of thing. And I just thought that was, in all our relationships, it's very easy to get upset when somebody, wrongs us, either perceived wrong or actual wrong. And, in the heat of the moment, we lash out, or we, say or do things that, we want to hurt or punish the other person simply because they hurt or punished us in some way. And the idea that if we are able to take a breath and step back and look at it from a different perspective of here is a child of God, whether they accept it or not, here is a child of God, and what can I do in my choice and my action and my reaction to them that wouldn't be retribution, but it would be something that would be more for healing or restoration. And just a way to kind of look at all of our relationships that way. The things that we do, with our husband, our wives, our sons, our daughters, our friends, our family, whoever, do we look at things and we go, what can I do to promote togetherness instead of just lashing out and, trying to punish people, which is easy to do sometimes. So just something to think about.
Yes. I'm talking into my mic.
Anyway, so there you go. We were kicking around the idea of talking about last day events because that came up today as well, but we'll save that for another time.
For another time.
For another time. So, all right. Well, hope you've had a great Sabbath, and we'll be around. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff. I just want another quick plug and promo for Gary Kent, The Incredible Journey, if you haven't had a chance to check them out yet. The one that dropped this last week, and it's on right now, is about Davy Crockett, and that was one of the ones we were on and did the shooting on. So that's on the YouTube channel right now, Gary Kent, The Incredible Journey. Check it out. A lot of great stories, a lot of great videos. And the one about the car driving across America, and now the one about Davy Crockett were two that we had worked on. So check it out. Hope you have a great rest of your Sabbath, and we'll see you next time.